Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org.
This week on Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke, guest Nick Clarke, former professional soccer player, stroke survivor, and founder of Stroke Information UK, shares the importance of fellow stroke survivors supporting each other throughout the recovery process. His story is entitled, "We Care Because We've Been There." Thank you for joining us for Part 1, Nick Clarke's story. Hello and welcome to Beyond Stillness. Stroke offers a powerful, life-changing shift in perspective. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. This radio show, Beyond Stillness, offers an hour of pause for storytelling and reflection. Ultimately, Beyond Stillness is a welcoming environment that reveres the moment beyond stroke's paralysis. Still moments unite humanity and divinity. I'm your host, Molly Bucola. Today's guest is Nick Clarke, a former professional soccer, or as they say in the UK, football player. He's a stroke survivor and founder of Stroke Information UK. Today's theme is the motto of Stroke Information UK: "We care because we've been there." So before we begin, we're going to hold space. Settle into this moment, recalling all the people who care about us because they too have been through moments of change, moments of suffering, moments of grief. We give thanks for the way those people have showed up in our lives. And we ask for the grace, the strength, the courage to show up in other people's lives, to be there for them in their moments, to be there because we care for them too. And now I'm going to hand it over to Nick Clarke. Our reading today is entitled September Strike. And Nick actually wrote this poem. Nick, will you read it for us?
Yeah, I originally titled it A Stroke Strikes. But yeah, I've changed it on reflection. So it goes something like this: slurring my words when I'm not drunk. What happened to me? Am I defunct? So many questions, but the main one's why. Learning to walk again, or I could cry. Pins and needles cramp my patch. The sensation's gone. Is that the catch? Starting over again, oh such fun. Can't even walk, never mind contemplate run. For once in my life, I couldn't care about work. What's wrong with me? Am I being a Burke? My family come and sometimes shed a tear. Oh my word, when can I next have a beer? Visitors come and say I'm looking well. Oh deep joy, life is so swell.
Thank you.
Oh, you want me to carry on with my talk now?
Yeah, so Nick has prepared a talk for us today, a talk about his experience and what he's learned throughout the space between his experience of stroke and now.
The day I had the stroke was a Monday morning, about 5:30 in the morning here in the UK. I went to the bathroom, I got up and reached down to tie my shoelaces, and in the bathroom I was getting dressed for work, and literally collapsed on the bathroom floor. So paramedics were called and rushed me to hospital to a large room with bed after bed of stroke patients. There are probably 40 beds in a gloomy room, and there was me, a 42-year-old, placed on a ward with patients in their 60s, 70s, 80s, even older. Ultimately, I didn't want to be there, but that's where I belonged for the time being. I had suffered a stroke and my blood pressure was too high to be anywhere else. In the blink of an eye, my whole life changed. I didn't understand what was going on. I sat there watching a swirl of professionals, nurses, doctors, sisters, ward managers. Didn't want to talk to me. They were too busy. My thoughts were spinning almost as fast as their steps. A few times professional finally slowed down. They didn't address me directly. They only spoke with my family. I felt as though they were writing me off. They weren't giving me a chance. Upon reflection, I was also writing off the other patients. I wrote off the other stroke survivors. Yes, in the early days on the ward, I would say, he's not going to make it tomorrow, or she doesn't look so well. I don't think she'll make it. Looking back, I was wrong. Now that I know what it's like for people to overlook me, thinking I lacked capability, or on the other hand, forget that I need a bit of help. I'm more aware of those around me. I learned to be courteous about others, ask questions, and listen. Truly listen. I've also learned about the concept of neuroplasticity, which is the nerve system that can recognize the structure, function, and connections after injuries such as stroke. There is so much room for hope, and there is little room for dismissive thoughts. When they finally moved me to my own room, I felt isolated. I had no I had no interaction, should I say, with others, just doctors and therapists. I didn't know how I was doing, how I couldn't compare to others, nor could I connect with other people that were going through something very similar. I felt that no one would ever be able to understand the confusion, desperation, depression, lots of emotions. I was finally discharged from hospital. A group of healthcare professionals continued to check on me when I returned home. I was bored, unmotivated, and spent most of my hours in front of the TV. I felt worthless. My mum suggested that I volunteer at hospital. She knows me well and knew that just sitting at home wasn't healthy for me. I ended up loving my volunteer time and was blown away with what we could actually achieve. One day I remember I was sitting at the table with about 10 stroke survivors. It was in a ward's hospital day room, known as a common area, away from all the beds. As a volunteer, we were encouraged to interact with the patients, and I just loved it. So I facilitated a game of hangman, and there was a wide range of abilities and ages, and somehow we made it work. There's a man, and I'm going to call him John, who lost his speech. At this point in my recovery, I learned not to write anyone off. People have often regained abilities, and everyone deserved attention, support, the challenge community. Everyone needs a second chance. So it was John's turn in the game, and we all looked at him and gave him attention and patiently waited him to try and guess what the answer was. We weren't that cruel that we actually gave John a subject, and this particular case was food. The therapist and flippantly noted, "Don't worry about John, he won't be able to talk again." We all waited. We knew how it felt to be written off and overlooked. So instead, we gave him the attention, the time, and the space, and we hoped that he accepted the challenge to try and guess. "Come on, John," I uttered in a low voice while looking into his eyes. I was trying to pretend to send him a telepathic message. placing my fingers on my temples and really sort of pressing hard. Out of nowhere, he just said lamb hot pot, which is the name of an English stew. The answer. Not only did he speak, he figured out the answer and he won the game. This is just so many, many stories I've shown others that we deserve another slot. It may take time and patience to wait for a stroke survivor to complete its task and engage, but we deserve it. And oftentimes we'll blow others away with our regained abilities. There may be moments of doubt when we doubt our own potential, but it's important to surround ourselves with other stroke survivors. We believe in each other, we really do. That's why I created a WhatsApp group. We've got lots of stroke survivors there, and it keeps growing. We support each other because we can. We get it. We understand each other. The WhatsApp group is there as a venue to share stories, feelings, and resources. And in the group setting, we solve problems too. We offer lots of encouragement and motivation. This WhatsApp group helps us focus on what we can do rather than what we can't. This community is patient, understanding, supportive, while still offering challenges for each other to improve. We survive stroke, so hopefully we can inspire others. The WhatsApp group is life-saving for both the giver and the receiver. It works both ways. We ask each other to help on the down days. Receiving helpful responses feels good, so does giving them. And for all others just reading, it makes them feel good too. They understand. They feel part of something. We want to be part of something. And I learned that while volunteering on the ward. I'm thankful for people like John and others playing hangman that day. We need to surround ourselves with people who understand. When I was laying in bed early days, feeling isolated, I had to do something about it. My family had the foresight to know me and know I strive to offer the gift to others. In the WhatsApp group, we have specific questions about healthcare. Members of staff would say what they've gone through their own experience, and we would give each other medication tips and, for want of a better word, brainstorm various ways to approach challenges. We back each other, even when navigating the healthcare system and the insurance companies and the social side of things. We use the group chat in a way to celebrate each other too. We've gone through the thick of it as individuals. Now we strive to go through the thick of it in the community. Having gone through such a life-changing experience, we're able to see people and the world a little bit differently. We are open, compassionate, and aware of the depth of doubt, pain, loneliness, depression that others might be feeling. Whether they've had a stroke or something else that's happened, all are welcome within our support group. Even if they didn't have a stroke, if you need support, we're there. There was a man who was misdiagnosed as having a stroke, and let's call him Barry even. He joined our group. He'd actually got motor neuron disease, MND, and was kicked out of our stroke group. Not our stroke group, should I say, a stroke group. So I just turned around to Barry after he was told, Barry, you can no longer come to our group because you've not actually had a stroke and it affects our figures. I was fuming. I told Barry and his wife that they were welcome to come out to our group because we know he would get something out of it. He was very, very active the time that he was with us for 6 to 8 weeks, where he and his wife were very lively and passionate. Unfortunately, Barry deteriorated with the terrible condition that is motor neuron disease and eventually passed away. But I know that for at least 6 to 8 weeks, Barry felt connected and supported by our group. Now, as post-stroke Nick, I really aim to see others and what they might be going through, the lessons that has reached people beyond people in the stroke community, should I say. I strive to no longer write them off. And in doing so, I'm no longer writing myself off. Maybe I am more aware now I cultivate patience, perspective, and have hope. This is a gift as a stroke survivor that I've been given, and I hope to help as many others as I can by being there for him. Our experiences reaches beyond the stroke community. This experience offers us an insight into humanity and as a whole and each individual journey. I feel a deep compassion for anyone suffering. As people, especially stroke survivors, we have an opportunity to share our gifts. It's our superpower, if you like. We care because we've been there. In fact, that's Stroke Information's hashtag. We care because we've been there.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for devoting time and space to listen to Part 1, Nick Clarke's story. Stick with us for Part 2, Nick Clarke's interview on Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. In this episode of Beyond Stillness, guest Nick Clarke, former professional soccer player, stroke survivor, and founder of Stroke Information UK, shared the importance of fellow stroke survivors supporting each other in the recovery process. His story is entitled, We Care Because We've Been There. If you enjoyed this moment of pause for storytelling and reflection, please like, share, or subscribe to the Beyond Stillness Stories After Stroke podcast. And again, thanks for listening. Remember, as part of the stroke community, you are more than supportive. You are inspirational. I'm your host, Molly Bucola.
Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org. Another way to support is to like, share, or subscribe to our weekly show. Again, thank you for devoting time and space for this week's episode of Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke.